Damn, this bike looks good, but it sounds off. This shock is getting ultra squeaky. Time for an upgrade. Sure, I could just hit it with some WD-40, but I'm using this as an excuse to install something better. This is the ETM RTR upgrade shock from Electro & Co. Today, I'm going to install it, test it, and let you know if this is worth $149. Electro & Co says this shock has stiffer springs and better dampening. I'm not sure what the weight is, it's not on the website, but stiffer probably means a heavier spring. Now they also offer a race shock that's stiffer and lowers the bike by 1 inch, but I'm sticking with the upgrade shock because I like stock height and a bit more plushness. Install is super simple. There's 1 bolt up top, 1 bolt at the bottom. You use a 14 and what I believe is a 12, but I used 2 14s at first. It's hot as shit out here, dude. And you reinstall the new one just like the old one came out. This is a 2 out of 10 on the difficulty scale. If I can do it, you can certainly do it. All right, let's get her down, put on the seat and see how she feels. Ooh, that's interesting. So it definitely still has some movement to it. So like if you're going on trails and whatnot, it still move it a little bit. Has give, which you want for like big obstacles like rocks and branches and so on. But the reset feels a little bit slower. So like when I go down, it comes up a little bit slower. See that? It lands and then just super slow. Whereas with the stock shock, it might have bounced a little bit. So regardless, let's go test this thing out and see what we think of it. So we're gonna test this all new shock in 3 different ways: jumps, wheelies, and general bumps and trails. Okay, first up, jumps. We gotta do this quick though because people are gonna see us and not be happy. Hey, it's me. Quick interjection. I don't know why this stupid ass GoPro is such a piece of shit, but the mic didn't work for this video. I'm sorry. You can still hear me fine. It just doesn't sound as good as normal. But anyways, back to the video.
So guys, the biggest difference with this shock is just gonna be a good bit stiffer than that of the stock one. So I've hit this jump before with the stock one. With this, I'm just expecting less rebound. I think that's the right terminology. So we're just gonna land and not bounce back up as much. Yeah, that felt pretty stiff. Yeah, so the sensation is really just that you land and it doesn't hurt, but you land and it just like, it feels like you land, like quick cushions you, but then you're back to normal. So like it rebounds pretty quick, but it doesn't like bounce you. Like a bad shock will bounce you. Yeah, it's like you land and it's just like you're right back to what's normal. It's kind of hard for me to explain because I don't really jump much or anything like that, but sideways there, buddy. That concludes the jump test. I think we go on to the most important test in my opinion, which is the wheelie test. Drop backs. So wheelies, how does she wheelie? So guys, for wheelies it's very beneficial to have a stiffer rear shock because when you drop back you don't want all of your weight to bottom out the rear shock. And what that does is when you're dropping back, hitting the brake, it makes it really bouncy and unpredictable. This is also really bad for like any sort of combos. So let's test this thing out. Here goes. Drop all the way back. Oh my goodness. The stock one was already good, but yeah, it just makes it super predictable. That's what you want, is an ultra predictable rear shock. You don't want it to bounce too much. Man, I thought I was gonna like this shock a lot for jumps, but I think I like it for wheelies more. Get some combos in. Oh my goodness. Way less sag when you jump on it. Way less sag. Can you switch your knees? I can't do all that. Just to show you guys the standard drop back. See how when we drop back and get hard on the brakes there, it's not like pushing me all the way down. Like I'm not dipping really hard into the shock and making me bounce. It's just straight back. Yeah. Man. It's just gonna make wheelies so much more predictable. And just from a combo standpoint, see how we can hop around like that? Circles. All day. Hey, yum. It's very stiff. but not too stiff that it makes riding all around everywhere less enjoyable. So let's try the circle wheelie test, because good suspension is also important on a death spin, because you're compressing the rear shock a lot on a death spin. So we'll circle around, and we'll fail a death spin. So circle wheelies, sit down, drag into a death spin. Oh yeah, so much more predictable. So much more predictable. I guess it's because all I do is wheelie, so I have more say in like what is important in a wheelie. So I can't really speak as much for off-road, but for wheelies, it actually feels a lot better than I expected. Usually I'm not one to really care that much about suspension. Like I obviously want it to be good, but I'm never one who really wants to spend money on it. I'd rather spend money on power mods. But wow. Wow. Suspension's important, guys. There we go. Well, guys, it obviously passed the wheelie test with flying colors, but it's also kind of to be expected. Like, this is an upgrade shock. It's going to be better than the stock rear shock, so like, we're not surprised here. I guess the biggest question that we'll answer at the end of this video is it worth the money though? Okay, quick bonus test. Cornering? I don't know if this is even valid, but let's try it. I guess we'll just see how this thing feels like it corners with that stiffer rear shock. Do we feel better stiffness, maybe? Is it a little more predictable? Yeah, I mean, it doesn't hurt that it's stiffer suspension here. Look at these supermotos, nice and low. I wonder if we can drag peg, maybe. We're dragging foot. Yeah, but she corners super good. I think the supermotos help a ton too. Nice little bonus test there though. Okay, on the way to our last test, which is going to be kind of like trail riding, but your standard kind of bumpy road test. I guess this will kind of encapsulate like all of the types of random riding you're doing. There should be some off-road right through here. I just rode here the other day. See how she feels. Just some pretty bumpy, weirdly cut grass here. Oh yeah. You handle it no problem. There's a trail here. Would you look at that? And it just ends abruptly. Oh yeah, another buddy. This is not the trail I was talking about riding, but I love how we just do this on supermotors too. Woo! Be a crazy different experience on the dirt wheels and tires. Hey buddy. Not a friendly cat. Okay guys, the off-road portion of the test. Use trail at own risk. Go! Never been on this trail before. Oh, it's bumpy. It's branchy. It's trunky. And it's rocky. Everything we could have asked for. I'm sure it's ticky too. It feels good, guys. It feels good. It feels definitively better than the stock one. The stock one just had a lot more movement. It was a little bit too cushy. This one is a little bit stiffer, still got some cush, so it's still comfortable. But yeah, it just makes you a little bit more confident. It makes it just a little bit more predictable, most importantly. Woo. Yeah, buddy. Damn, does that red look good in the woods though. So guys, we tested jumps, we tested wheelies, we tested off-road, and we even tested cornering. Who the hell does that? But let's talk about all my final thoughts in the garage.
So how does it feel? It's definitely stiffer. That's kind of the whole point of it. It's also not squeaky, which is great. But the added stiffness is definitely noticeable when you're doing wheelies, jumps, and even just like hopping off curbs. Again, that's the whole point of this shock, and it does make a pretty big difference doing all of those things. For me, I think it's most important when I'm doing drop backs because I'm not compressing that rear shock too much, because when you do that, the bike becomes somewhat unpredictable, specifically for drop backs, specifically for combos. So it's really good in that it keeps the bike pretty much at the same level. It doesn't move too much when you're doing all those wheelie tricks. Now, do I think it's absolutely necessary for the RTR? Not really. I think that I would be fine with the stock shock, and I think most people would be fine with the stock shock. To be fair, I'm also never someone who's that huge into upgrading suspension, just because it's usually expensive. The one caveat with this is it's only $149 for a rear shock, which compared to Surons and Solaris isn't as expensive. But even then, I'm not a huge suspension guy. But it literally improves the entire way the bike feels. So like, obviously I've got it on, it feels really good, it feels better, so I'm gonna keep it on. My outlook on it is I don't think it's 100% necessary, but if you've got the funds and you really want a totally dialed bike, you really care about suspension a lot, then this is definitely a good option. At that point, you probably also would want to do the stiffer front fork springs. If you're ultra crazy and you race this thing, you do like pit bike races, whatever, then you'll probably want to go with the race shock, but I just know that thing's going to be super stiff and it lowers the bike a little bit, which I didn't want to do. But anyways, guys, those are my overall thoughts on this upgraded shock for the RTR. Again, I think for the price, it's not bad, but I'd only get it if you absolutely really want to upgrade the suspension and have the bike feel like totally dialed. I don't think you totally need it though. But if based on my feedback and thoughts, this shock actually sounds right for you, then feel free to use code ConnorG at checkout to save a couple bucks. And let me know if you have any questions down below. Lastly, guys, we're on our road to 100K subs. If you could sub, I would greatly appreciate it. Huge shout out to everyone who's already subbed. We have tons of banger content coming on this RTR, so make sure you stay tuned. Some ride outs coming. But otherwise, guys, I will catch you very soon. Peace.